Is the stock market delusional with earnings going nowhere? Hello, this is Chart GPT today. Kind of looking at the equity stock market here on the U.S. side here. We've seen some recent pull-ups out of on a technical basis to the upside. It's closing in at all-time highs once again. And of course, the news media is going bananas on this, where perhaps we'll hit new times high. Here's a headline from CNBC recently asking the question, can the S&P 500 hit a record high? Well, let's take a look at the earnings, because earnings tends to drive stock prices mostly. And you can see that prior to COVID, we were sitting around the 40 mark and dipped in COVID, and it came back up to the 50. And it's pretty flat line here in terms of the earnings. And of course, I think it's predicted we're starting the earnings season here, and it doesn't look that great. Maybe 1%. If you're looking at it on an earnings per share basis, and some people look at the price earnings ratio, which is here's a bit of an easy formula here: price per share divided by the earnings per share. So we kind of look at what's been happening since. Why have stocks gone up and yet earnings have gone nowhere? Well, what's happening is we're getting some multiple expansions where people are sensing positive things coming forward. And of course, you kind of wonder where that positivity is coming from. And we've mentioned this before, but it's all about the Fed. Will the Fed ready for the pivot? Some people thought the pivot would happen earlier, but it's been delayed. So we're about 19.5 with based on earnings. And of course, here's forward earnings. It's about the same. Historically, we'd normally around the 15 to 20 area, so we're way over in excess. So we look at the market. The markets may in fact be overblown at this point. So with the recent Fed hike over the last, say, 6 months or so, earnings have been suffering, unemployment starting to creep up, trying to battle that inflation, and for the most part they've been successful. So can these earnings per shares go higher? And I think what's happening is that people think that the Fed pivot is nigh, and people are buying in anticipation of that. We could go up there and meet the highs, and of course the question is, will the Fed go actually deliver on the softening? And that's what people are sniffing out. If in fact they do soften, we could hit new highs and go even higher. Of course, then that means we may have to relook at the inflation story. And so this is kind of the Rubik's Cube we've been looking at. If not, if they continue to push high on the rates, keep them high, then we'll probably bounce off those highs and go back into this longer term wedge. So that's what it is. What will the Fed do? And of course, all roads lead to the Fed. Take a look at the AI in terms of what earnings and price ratios do to stocks, and give us your take on our online poll. You can see that in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe.